Have you ever stopped to think about how many times a day you catch yourself in the middle of a sentence and simply can't remember the word you were going to say? That feeling of having something on the tip of your tongue, but it just won't come no matter how hard you try to force a memory. Or when you walk into a room and just stand there, looking around, desperately try to remember what you came in for. Sometimes you even laugh it off, make a joke about it. But deep down there's a fear you don't like to admit. A silent fear that starts small but grows with every forgotten moment. Every name you can't recall, every appointment that simply slips through your mind like sand through your fingers. You wonder if this is normal, if everyone your age goes through this, but at the same time a persistent voice inside you whispers that word you're terrified to say out loud. Alzheimer's. Dementia. Is it starting? Will you forget your children's names in a few years, your grandchildren's names? Will you stop recognizing the people you love most? This anguish is real. It hurts. It keeps you up at night. It makes you look in a mirror and feel like you're losing pieces of yourself little by little, as if the person you've always been is slowly fading away, silently, without you being able to do anything to stop it. But I need to tell you something that maybe nobody has told you yet. Not every memory lapse is the beginning of a serious disease. In fact, most of the memory lapses you experience after 60 have nothing to do with Alzheimer's or dementia. They happen for much simpler, much more common reasons. And believe me, much easier to fix than you think. There's a natural, accessible, and proven path for you to regain mental clarity, improve your memory, and get back to thinking with the same sharpness as before. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you in this video. It's not magic. It's not empty promises. It's real science applied simply to your daily routine. So take a deep breath, get comfortable, because what you're about to discover in the next few minutes could completely change the way you see your own mind. Before we continue, I wanted to extend an invitation to you. If you're here for the first time, know that this channel was created especially for you. For those who are afraid of losing their memory, for those who wake up in the middle of the night worried about the future, for those who want to age with dignity, with clarity, with independence. Here you won't find miracle promises or pushy sales. What you will find is honest information based on science, explained simply and applicable to your life. Every video I publish is designed to help you better understand what's happening to you, to give you real tools for self-care, and to remind you that you're not alone on this journey. Subscribing to the channel is a way for you to make sure you'll keep receiving this type of content, staying informed, feeling supported. And if you're already subscribed, leave a like on this video so more people can find this information that can make such a difference in their lives. Let's do this together. Now I want you to understand something very important. When you forget where you left your car keys, when you can't remember the name of that person you ran into on the street, when you lose your train of thought in the middle of a conversation, your brain isn't necessarily sick. What's happening is that the brain, like any other organ in the body, needs specific care to function well. And as the years go by, if that care isn't provided, it starts showing signs. Think about it with me. If you haven't been sleeping well for months, if you're living under constant stress, if your diet is poor in essential nutrients, if you spend all day sitting without doing any physical activity, if you don't challenge your mind with new things, what do you think is going to happen to your ability to think and remember? Exactly. It's going to decline. Not because you're developing a serious neurodegenerative disease, but because your brain is operating under poor conditions. It's like trying to drive a car with no oil in the engine, with low-quality gas, with flat tires. The car still runs, but it doesn't run well. And if you don't take care of it soon, it's going to have serious problems. The good news is that in most cases, when you correct these conditions, when you give your brain what it needs to function well, memory comes back, mental clarity returns, confusion decreases. And this isn't just my opinion. This is proven science. There are studies from all over the world showing that simple lifestyle changes can dramatically improve cognitive function in people over 60. So before you panic thinking you're losing your mind, before you resign yourself thinking this is normal and there's nothing you can do, I need you to understand that there is a way back. And that path starts with you understanding what's really happening in your brain. Let's talk first about sleep. Did you know that during deep sleep, your brain does a kind of deep cleaning? There's a system called the glymphatic system that works mainly while you sleep. It removes toxins, removes metabolic waste, removes proteins that accumulate throughout the day and that, if not eliminated, impair the functioning of neurons. When you don't sleep well, when you wake up several times during the night, when you chronically sleep less than 6 hours a night, this system can't do its job properly. Toxins accumulate, neurons become inflamed, communication between them becomes impaired. And that's when forgetfulness starts. The difficulty concentrating, that feeling of brain fog you feel all day long. Many people go to the doctor thinking they have Alzheimer's when they're actually just suffering from chronic sleep deprivation. And the difference between the two is huge. Alzheimer's is a progressive and irreversible disease. Sleep deprivation is a problem that can be solved with habit changes. So, if you're not sleeping well, if you spend the night waking up, if you wake up tired even after sleeping, this is the first thing you need to take care of. And taking care of sleep doesn't mean taking sleeping pills, at least not as a first option. It's creating a healthy sleep routine. It's turning off screens at least an hour before bed, because the blue light from your phone and television interferes with melatonin production, the hormone that helps you sleep. It's avoiding caffeine after 3 in the afternoon. It's creating a dark, quiet, and cool environment in your bedroom. It's going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, including weekends, so your body gets into a natural rhythm. These are simple things, but they make an incredible difference in the quality of your sleep and, consequently, in the quality of your memory. Now, let's talk about nutrition. Your brain is made, to a large extent, of fat. It needs healthy fats to function well. It needs omega-3, which you find in fish like salmon, sardines, tuna. It needs antioxidants, which you find in berries, dark green vegetables, walnuts, almonds. It needs B vitamins, especially B12, B6, and folic acid, which are essential for neuron health and for production of neurotransmitters. If your diet is poor in these nutrients, if you eat a lot of sugar, a lot of refined flour, a lot of ultra-processed foods, you're literally depriving your brain of the fuel it needs to function. And the result of that is exactly what you're experiencing. Difficulty remembering, difficulty concentrating, feeling of heavy head, mental fatigue. One of the most impressive things science has discovered in recent years is the role of chronic inflammation in cognitive decline. When you eat too much sugar, when you consume too many industrialized foods full of preservatives and dyes, when you don't eat enough fiber, your gut becomes inflamed. And when the gut becomes inflamed, it releases inflammatory substances that travel through the bloodstream and reach the brain. That's right, gut inflammation causes brain inflammation. And an inflamed brain doesn't work well. Neurons become sluggish. Communication between them becomes impaired. Memory becomes compromised. So taking care of nutrition isn't just about appearance or weight. It's about brain health. It's giving your brain the nutrients it needs and avoiding the substances that harm it. And when you do this consistently, the results show up. Memory improves, mental clarity returns, that constant fog disappears. And there's one more fundamental thing that most people completely ignore: physical activity. Did you know that when you exercise, when you walk, when you do any kind of movement that speeds up your heart, your brain releases a protein called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor? This protein is like fertilizer for neurons. It stimulates the growth of new neurons. It strengthens the connections between them. It improves brain plasticity, which is the brain's ability to adapt, to learn new things, to create new neural pathways. Sedentary people have very low levels of BDNF. And people with low levels of BDNF have much more difficulty with memory, much higher risk of cognitive decline. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It doesn't have to be heavy gym workouts, marathon running, nothing like that. A 30-minute walk a day, 5 times a week, is enough to significantly increase BDNF levels in your brain. 30 minutes. That's less time than you spend watching television at night. And the benefits go far beyond memory. Physical exercise improves blood circulation, which means more oxygen and more nutrients reach the brain. It reduces stress, reduces anxiety, improves mood, improves sleep quality. It's a domino effect of benefits that starts with a simple decision: getting up and moving. Now I want to pause here and ask you a very important question. Have you ever felt that sensation of losing control over your own mind? That fear that the forgetfulness will get worse? that you'll become a burden to your family, that you'll lose your independence, your identity? If you felt this, I want you to know that you're not alone. Millions of people over 60 feel exactly the same thing. And many of them are suffering in silence, ashamed to talk about it, afraid of being judged, afraid of being treated as incapable. But the simple fact that you're here, watching this video, seeking information, trying to understand what's happening to you, already shows you're on the right path, shows that you haven't given up on yourself. So I want to ask you something. Go down to the comments right now and write this sentence. I am taking care of my memory. It might seem silly, but this simple act of writing, of publicly declaring that you're committed to your brain health, has enormous power. First, because it helps you cement this commitment to yourself. Second, because it can inspire other people who are going through the same problem but haven't yet had the courage to talk about it. So go ahead. I am taking care of my memory. Write that and come back here to keep watching. I'll wait for you. Now that you're back, let's continue. I need to talk about something that many people underestimate, but that has a huge impact on brain health. Chronic stress. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol, which is the stress hormone. In isolated situations, cortisol is useful. It prepares you to react to a threat, makes you more alert, faster. But when you live under constant stress, when you're worried all the time, when you can't relax for even a minute, cortisol stays high all the time. And chronically high cortisol is extremely toxic to the brain. It damages the hippocampus, which is the region of the brain responsible for forming new memories. It impairs communication between neurons. It increases brain inflammation. It disrupts sleep. It disrupts concentration. It's a vicious cycle. The more stressed you are, the worse your memory gets. The worse your memory gets, the more stressed you become. And then you enter a downward spiral that seems endless. But it's not. The first step is recognizing that stress is affecting you. Identifying the sources of stress in your life. Sometimes it's financial worry. Sometimes it's family conflict. Sometimes it's loneliness. Sometimes it's the feeling of uselessness, of no longer having a purpose. Whatever the cause, you need to look at it head on and seek ways to deal with it. And look, I know this isn't easy. Often the causes of stress are beyond our control. But how we react to them, that's within our control. Practices like meditation, deep breathing, yoga, Tai Chi, all of these have been scientifically studied and all have shown consistent results in reducing cortisol and improving cognitive function. You don't have to become a Buddhist monk. You don't have to meditate an hour a day. 5 minutes of deep breathing in the morning already makes a difference. 5 minutes at night before bed already helps. It's starting small and building the habit gradually. And here's another valuable tip. Create an evening routine. Choose a specific time to eat your nighttime snack. Maybe it's 8 at night. Maybe it's 9. Depends on what time you usually go to bed. And every day at that time, you stop what you're doing, go to the kitchen, and eat your memory snack. It might seem silly to give a name like that, but when you call a memory snack, it reinforces in your mind why you're doing it. You're not just eating because you're hungry. You're actively choosing to feed your brain, protect your memory, invest in your cognitive future. And this mindset makes all the difference. Instead of being one more thing you have to do, it becomes something you want to do, something you do out of self-love, out of taking care of yourself. It's also important that you pay attention to how you feel. Start keeping a simple journal. It doesn't need to be anything elaborate. It can just be a few sentences on your phone before bed. Write how your sleep was, how you felt when you woke up, if you noticed any difference in your memory or concentration during the day. Over time, you'll start to see patterns. You'll notice that on nights when you ate well before bed, you slept better and woke up more alert. And that will motivate you to continue. Because sometimes when we're changing habits, it's easy to get discouraged if we don't see immediate results. But when you document, even in a simple way, you can see the progress. You can see that things are improving, and that gives you the motivation to continue. And don't forget about hydration. Your brain needs water to function well, and many people wake up dehydrated without realizing it. Drink a glass of water when you eat your nighttime snack, but don't overdo it so you don't have to wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. 1 glass is enough. And during the day, keep your body well hydrated. Sometimes what we think is a memory problem is actually just dehydration. Your brain is about 75% water. So when you're dehydrated, your brain literally shrinks a little and doesn't work as well. By keeping your body hydrated, you're giving your brain one of the most basic and essential resources it needs to work well. Now I want to talk about something that might be going through your head right now. Maybe you're thinking, but will this really work for me? Isn't it too late? Hasn't the damage already been done? And I want to tell you with complete sincerity that it's never too late to start taking care of your brain. Modern neuroscience has shown us something extraordinary, that the brain has an incredible ability to adapt, regenerate, and create new connections no matter the age. This is called neuroplasticity. Your brain isn't a fixed, unchangeable structure. It's constantly changing and adapting based on what you do, what you eat, how you live. So yes, even if you're 60, 70, 80 years old, even if you're already feeling decline in your memory, you can still do things that will help. Maybe you won't get back to having the memory you had at 20, but you can absolutely improve from where you are now. And that improvement can mean the difference between maintaining your independence or not, between continuing to do the things you love or having to give them up, between living with constant fear or living with hope and confidence. And you know what the best part of all this is? These changes cost almost nothing. Walnuts, kiwi, protein, these aren't expensive or hard to find things. You don't need to buy expensive supplements. You don't need to sign up for complicated programs. You don't need to spend money on questionable treatments. What I'm showing you here are simple, accessible strategies based on real science that anyone can implement. And that's liberating, isn't it? Knowing that you have the power to do something meaningful for your memory using simple things that are available at any grocery store. You're not at the mercy of a complicated medical system. You don't depend on medications that may or may not work. You have simple and powerful tools in your own hands. But let me be clear about one thing. I'm not saying that eating walnuts and kiwi before bed is going to cure Alzheimer's or reverse severe dementia. If you're worried you might have a serious memory problem, you should definitely see a doctor for a proper evaluation. What I'm offering you here are tools to prevent problems, to protect your memory, to give your brain the best possible conditions to stay healthy. And for most people watching this video, people who are having occasional memory lapses, who are worried but don't yet have a serious diagnosis, these strategies can make a huge difference. They might be exactly what you need to stop the decline and start improving. And here's something else I want you to understand. Taking care of your memory isn't just about you. It's about the people who love you, about your family, your friends, your grandchildren. When you keep your memory working well, you can continue being the person they know and love. You can continue sharing stories, remembering special moments, truly being present in their lives. You can continue being independent, making your own decisions, living your life the way you want. And that's not only important for you, it's important for everyone around you. So when you take care of your memory, when you make these small changes every day, you're doing it not just for yourself, but for everyone who cares about you. And that can give you even greater motivation to continue, to be consistent, to not give up even on difficult days. Now let me tell you about one more thing that can enhance even further the benefits of what I've already shown you. After you eat your nighttime snack, instead of staying in front of the television or on your phone until bedtime, try doing something relaxing. It could be reading a book. It could be listening to soft music. It could be doing some light stretching. It could be simply sitting in silence and breathing calmly. The goal is to start slowing down your mind, to signal to your body that it's time to start preparing for sleep. The blue light from television and phone screens interferes with melatonin production, so the less exposed you have to these screens before bed, the better you'll sleep. And as we've already talked about, better sleep means better memory. So create a complete evening routine, one that includes not just a memory snack, but also activities that calm your mind and prepare your body for restorative sleep. An environment where you sleep also matters a lot. Your bedroom should be dark, cool, and quiet. If a lot of light comes through the window, consider using blackout curtains or a sleep mask. If there's a lot of noise, maybe earplugs or a white noise machine can help. The ideal temperature for sleeping is generally between 60 and 66 degrees Fahrenheit, So if your room is too warm, you might not be entering the deeper stages of sleep. And invest in a good pillow and a good mattress if you can, because being physically comfortable is essential for sleeping well. All these things work together. What you eat, your routine before bed, the environment where you sleep, all of this contributes to the quality of your sleep and, consequently, to the health of your memory. I know it can be scary to look in the mirror and feel like you're not who you used to be. I know it hurts to forget important things, to disappoint people you love, to feel like you're losing pieces of yourself. But I need you to understand something. You're still here. You're still you. And as long as you're alive, as long as you have awareness, as long as you have you have the power to change. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how long you've been feeling this way. The brain has an incredible ability to regenerate, to adapt, to improve. Science calls this neuroplasticity, and it has no expiration date. Even at 60, 70, 80 years old, the brain can still create new connections, can still improve its function, but it needs the right conditions. It needs sleep, nutrition, movement, challenge, connection, purpose, and all of this is within your reach. It doesn't depend on expensive medicine. It doesn't depend on miracle treatments. It depends on you making better choices every day. Small choices, but consistent ones. And believe me, these choices accumulate. They turn into habits. And these habits transform your life. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you for taking this time to take care of yourself. Many people give up halfway. Many people prefer to ignore the problem and pretend everything's fine. But not you. You're here, seeking answers, seeking solutions. And that says a lot about who you are. It shows that you value your mind, your independence, your quality of life. So don't stop here. Take this information and put it into practice. Start today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Choose one thing from the list I gave you and do it. Just one. And tomorrow choose another. Build gradually. And if you want to keep receiving this type of content, if you want to keep learning about how to better take care of your brain, your memory, your mental health, leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you know someone going through the same problem, someone who's afraid of losing their memory, share this video with that person. Sometimes we don't know how to help, but sharing information that can make a difference is already a huge form of caring. Take care, and see you in the next video.